Did you guys do that?
Well, so with the families that had more wives, like my dad, he had like he has 7 wives. And he would go to his favorite houses the most and leave the ones he didn't like out. Like he would see them once a month. Even if like 7 wives, you can see everybody once a week, right? He would only see his favorite wives like every single day or every other day, and then he would see his worst like once a month. And then he also would hop from house to house. They didn't have like their own place, but except in my mom's house, my dad had his own place, his own room, his own little bed. Like everything was his pretty much.
Yeah, I remember my dad would bring like his little suitcase that was from each house that he would have, and then he would have a little section of the closet that was his section. But like also kind of the same thing, like if my mom was misbehaving, he would just leave and go to a different wife's house. Like the men don't really have to be held accountable. They can just go to the next wife's house.
Yeah, they just hop from whatever one they want, whatever one's being good.
And I have a question actually, because the first wife had the most kids, she had 15 kids in my family, and then my mom had 10. So when the first wife their family would get too big for a house, she would move to the next house, and then my mom's family would move into her old house. And then the third wife would move into my mom's old house.
What the
You
crap?
guys didn't do that?
Well, no, so sometimes, like, if the husbands had more wives, they would have wives in the top and wives in the bottom. So,
of
like,
the house?
Yeah, like two wives in the same house, but if they started having too many kids, they would move out and have the newer wife with, like, 2 kids move down there.
Okay. Did you guys because I remember my mom getting mad that she would have to buy a nice car, right, to get her kids to go take them to church and whatever. Mm-hmm. But then when the third wife needed a car and my mom was buying a new car, then my dad would kind of just like manipulate her into giving her car to the other wife.
Yes,
Did you guys do that?
So that's how it was with some things. It wasn't like cars in our family because there were so many wives that like if somebody bought their own thing, they kept it.
Oh, okay.
But then with like siblings that I know have where all the women are paying off one house because they all like pay off the things together because they're one big happy family.
Even if they're not living in it?
Yeah. So let's say the new wife gets married to the husband. Let's say they have this expensive house, $100,000, right? Everybody is paying a portion towards that house because everybody helped them pay off theirs.
Whoa. And so everyone's just okay with it?
Yeah, and it just everything is everybody's. Like nobody owns anything. It's all just like the orders and they just do whatever.
That's wild. I don't think that was like that in our house. But also I did want to mention before we're done with this video, before we close for prayer.
Yeah.
There was a couple families that I do remember where their family was small enough to where they did have all the wives in one home, but that was rare. I feel like it was way more common where the guy would just house hop to different homes.
Yeah, it's way more common.
Yeah. Thanks for the questions. See you guys later. Bye.